Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader at thetechtrader.com. These are the charts for the day. It is Tuesday night, December the 3rd. Well, I'm going to go over some longs and shorts tonight. We had some pretty interesting trades today, but more importantly, some of the stocks that didn't move that much are setting up nicely, and I want to show you those too. Those are some of our swing trades that may be getting ready to make a move. Let's start off alphabetically with ETRM, which exploded today. 29 million shares, 29.5 million. When the stock doesn't trade anywhere near that, we're talking about 2,400% more volume than normal, 63% gain today, and the stock jumped 87 cents to 224. Matter of fact, closed at the high for the day going away. Could very easily get a spillover. I'm looking for 2.5, 3/4 as quickly as tomorrow on this one. By the way, on that one also, if you take a look at the resistance right here, if it does pop through that level, we could see substantially higher levels. First of all, to move up into a zone near $3, 293 would actually be my target. Go been acting great of late. You can see the big surge it had here when we first liked it. We got into it a little late, quelled, and broke out again. But the move alone, just from 27 to 34.70 in the last 2 days, was kind of spectacular. Good volume. The volume actually increased today. I'm expecting even more upside on this one. 37 is my short-term target. I think we may get into the low to mid 40s. Maybe more. HIMX setting up nicely. Let's take a look. First, the declining tops line broken. It spiked down, spiked up, consolidated, and broke out. And now it's flagging. Take a look at the little pennant, 4-day little tight pennant on low volume here. Relatively low volume. We can see the stock at this point breaking out and retesting the double top up at about 1140.45, but on an intermediate term basis, I think the stock makes it all the way up towards the $12 range. Sorry, $15 range. That's my next target. ICLD iCloud really popped today and snapped back after the huge move it had a couple weeks ago. It drifted lower near the 50 and near price support. Held it for a couple days. Had an inside day yesterday, very tiny and very low volume, and popped 33.5% on 4.4 million shares today. Huge move. And it closed at the upper end of the range. Buck off the high, but it was still up about 261 or 33.5%. That level up there is going to be quite interesting to see if we can get up past 13. 12.5 is key short-term resistance. Beyond that, mid-teens. OMED with a spectacular surge today on a major deal, giving them 150 million in cash. 155 million. You can see how it popped, exploded all the way up to 31.99. We had a 30.31 target. It exceeded that and then came down to close at 27.70 after reaching down below 27. Still a spectacular $13.70 gain, or nearly 100% on 5.6 million, 5.7 almost, the biggest volume ever traded in the stock. Where does it go from here? I would have to say mid-30s, but let's see what it does in the next day or two and how it consolidates. ONVO, it snapped back 46 cents or 5.25%. The volume slightly increased to 3.4 million, but it's going to need more than that. What I really need is for the stock to move through 10.05. That's going to get it going for a move back to 12.5, 13, maybe even retest a high up here at 13.65 on a short-term basis. But it must hold this trend line right there. OXBT, I think, is also getting ready. I like the way it spiked up, pulled back, the volume got very quiet, and then twice in the last 4 days, it popped, pulled back, and tried to pop again today. Only up 17 cents, about 3%. I just like this flag pattern. I like the low volume, and I like the strong technicals. So I'm thinking that this could pop and really run hard back up towards the $9 range. That's my swing target. I would keep a close tab on the 5, 15, 20 zone as support. SCAC, looks like to me this is getting ready as well. It popped as high as 1506, couldn't get through that line and backed off, but it's in a wedge pattern. The volume, however, I want to point out to you, was the second biggest volume in about 3 weeks. And many indicate they're taking out offers. The Chen channel looks to me like we could see a move to 18, my next target. SUNE flagging beautifully, up only 35 cents, 2.7%, but 5.8 million traded, and the stock closed not far from the upper end of the range and near resistance. We get through that, looking for 16, 17 up in that zone. And lastly on the long side is Unis. Big day for that one. I announced another contract, 9.3 million traded. Run up at one time over 5 to 510, and then backed off to 484. But it was still up 69 cents or 17%, and strong volume indicates to me we may even see more upside. Let's see if it consolidates for there too, then goes. But I'm still looking for 6 1/4 and then 7 1/4. Actually, I have a target of 5.50 and 6 1/4, but my real secondary target is 7 1/4. And let's switch over to the box of short side and see what's cooking there. I have a list of a few stocks I want to go over, starting with JCOM. Now, the way this looks, JCOM had broken down hard, a 3-wave corrective move right to the moving average, declining tops line, and the juxtaposition of lateral resistance before rolling over yesterday and following through just slightly today. But you can see if this is leg 1 and 2, that leg 3 could get us down there 40, 39, 40 range, my next target. Mercadolibre similarly has broken, came down from the wedge and broke down. Now it's right on key support at these lows from June. And if this breaks, this stock's going a lot lower. The next target is 90. NSM, we have a swing trade on this one on the short side. It ran up in a little rising flag, slowly edging lower, but for 6 days now, been pretty quiet and narrow. If it breaks now, you're going to see a quick hit to 36. Break at that level, get you down to 33. Rock 10, big wedge broken here, and a bear flag is developed. Today down $1.41 or 1.5%. It looks like it's about to break support. And if it breaks this flag to the downside, it could plunge towards 80. Rentec still looking weak and ugly. Broke that rising bear flag, which went right to resistance and rolled over. At this point, I'm not sure how far down it goes. It's already dropped from 48 and change down to 18 and change, and yet I don't see any signs of a bottom. Do you? SPSC, that's a fairly new addition to the list. Kind of toppy looking, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Break down a little rising wedge. If it rolls over, and if it takes out the $60 range, in my opinion, we could see this plunge into the low to mid-50s. SSI stage stores in a 1, 2, 3, 4-wave move. It appears it could be ready to fall, but today it was up a little bit. That should not have been on that list. Sorry about that. STML stem line. This little wedge here looks very bearish. It's in a very tight down channel, and if it breaks, we can see 16 quickly, maybe 17. Trulia, along with Zillow, which I'll show you next, are rolling over. They're both in the same sector, internet services, mostly for the real estate section. We've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave decline, or at least it looks like it's in the midst of the 5th wave, which could get us down to test the June lows, 27.5, my next target. And lastly is Zillow, which doesn't want to crack hard, but it has dropped steadily here. It may be a falling wedge, it may be a top, we'll just have to see, but nevertheless, the major channel has been broken. Stock dropped 219 or almost 3% today. And if it takes out the 71.5 area, I'd be looking for Zillow to start to fall a little bit more rapidly, eventually getting into the mid and then low 60s. And that's it for tonight, folks. I'll talk to you in the trading room tomorrow night.